Hey, welcome to Disenthrall. Today, we're going to talk to you, apparently, I'm told, about porn. Kason,
yes,
what is the porn?
So it happens in the UK. There is this thing called pornography. I mean, I guess this happens in other places too. But in the UK, they have passed a new law that the UK newsstands will sell porn passes to verify that you are of legal age to consume porn. Okay. The subheadline, the subtext under there is, it's slightly more anonymous than an online database. Slightly more anonymous. So basically the way it's going to go is people are going to sell, they sell news. You know, you go to the BBC stand or whatever, and you say, hi, I am of the legal age to consume naked people on a screen.
Photons may be emitted from the screen and enter my ocular receptacles.
Right into my eyeballs. And I thought that was quite interesting.
If it pleases the king
to touch my junk,
may I please allow photons to enter my ocular orifices.
So I thought this was interesting because it's like, who owns your eyeball? Who owns your computer? Who owns your junk? Like, all of the above. These are all things that I would be asking
the queen.
The crown.
The queen, yes.
Yeah, apparently. And if you had to guess, how stiff of a fine do you think this is if they bypass the new regulations? If you had to gander a guess.
If I observe porn photons without a license, or if I'm a porn website,
if you are a website
emitting photons wantonly,
if you emit photons wantonly, and you refuse to verify users' ages,
if I willy-nilly my porn photons,
if you refuse to do exactly as they say as far as accepting the one-time codes that are sold from the newsstands.
So the regulation is on the website itself.
Yes.
$500,000.
$500,000. Let's see. Survey says 250,000 pounds.
Well, that's $500,000.
Well, as of today, that's like $350,000.
Okay.
So still, it's a hefty price to pay for privates.
For each, I'm assuming each infraction, right?
Let's see. Implementation of these rules have been delayed to let people more time to draft the guidelines because they're not sure exactly how to implement this.
I am like in the middle of my third or fourth reading of Atlas Shrugged, and man, this is just right out of the book. I'm like right in the beginning, like in the first third of the book when all the what do they call them, looters are just trying to make everybody safe by controlling everything.
So you do a fair amount of IT work, is that fair to say?
Fair, yes.
Okay, so if this regulation were happening in the U.S., what kind of cost might there be in order to implement or interface with some kind of government pass structure?
Well,
like what kind of overhead is just going to instantly go to the expense sheet?
So there's a lot of porn sites that are like low tech. They're just people that want to host some porn, and so they usually use somebody else's content platform like WordPress or something else that just lets them publish. Like especially if you're the porn person, what do you call them?
The star?
Porn star. Porn, yeah, porn actress,
the star.
Whatever you call it, yeah. If you're the person in question...
They call me Cinnamon.
Generally, I would say that these people are not the most technical, and so they usually use somebody else's content publishing platform or somebody else's technology. Like they'll get a WordPress blog or something and whatever. So they don't have any skills to integrate with any kind of government, what you'd call it as an API. You'd have like a government computer service that your website would have to interface with every time somebody signed up with your website to, I guess, check your
the API
photon porn status.
Just so you know, the way that it works currently is it's a 16-digit code called a porn pass that they're going to sell for about £10, or let's call it, $15 US, $13.50.
Oh, you have to pay for it.
You have to buy the porn pass every time you want to visit the porn.
There's a lot of layers to this. So now the government gets a database of everyone that looks at porn.
But it says on the headline slightly more anonymous than an online database. You're saying they're going to create a database?
Because the government just runs roughshod over privacy? Anyway. So the government gets a database of everybody that wants to look at porn. Okay. And what websites you're accessing, I'm sure, because if a website has access to the API, you're gonna have to have the way this stuff works. I don't know how technical we should get, but like if I want to integrate with somebody's API, with somebody's server, I have to have like my website, my porn site would have to have an account with the government, and it would have to basically say, hey government, I am this porn site. Here's this 16-character key or whatever that somebody entered,
16-digit key,
trying to create an account with me. So what did we just give the government? We just gave the government. We just gave the government who, a person, a website that they're trying to access, and obviously a date and time. So the government
and the content, they would obviously know the content that's being hosted here.
Yeah.
So if somebody wanted a smear campaign on somebody, be like, "You won't believe what this guy did back whenever he was earlier in his life."
Yep, one-legged
midgets.
I don't even know what I'm trying to here's what's messed up in this day and age. I'm trying to come up with an extreme form of porn that would shock people just now to make a joke.
It's difficult.
I didn't know where to go.
It's you have to kind of go into the weird part of YouTube to find something that somebody would be kind of weirded out by.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, so you're giving the government a massive database of some really personal information.
I wouldn't recommend this for the U.S. to implement. I'm not behind this.
And the government can't even keep nuclear code secret, so you know that database is going to get out, and it's going to get out.
It would be bad. What was Jedi, the joint something, JEDI? They wanted to keep the nuclear codes in the cloud. Let's see. Jedi nuclear codes.
Whatever you're about to say is going to terrify me. I feel it coming.
Okay, so Jedi Cloud mind trick. The Pentagon doubled down, blah, 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 blah. They want a single vendor to basically host stuff in the cloud. The Joint Enterprise Defense Infrastructure Contract. They want to host stuff in the cloud to host secret and top secret Defense Department data, including nuclear weapon design information. So not nuclear codes, but just how to build them.
Well, that's already out there. You can already find that on the internet. I definitely haven't seen that.
Yeah. Anyway, whatever. It's an aside. So, Patrick, now that we have the new studio look and everything, I know we've been talking about doubling down our efforts to make content that will outlive us and change the world. So you want to tell people about what's going on there?
So we've got a new studio, we got a new look, we're going to have a lot more frequent content on a lot of topics, and we want to get a lot more interactive with the people. And so to that end, we have a Patreon that will allow you to help us amplify this message and our studio and our equipment and what we're doing. So please check out our Patreon if you want to help us out with that. We also have
Patreon.com/disenthrall.
We also have a new, you want to come over to me here?
Yeah. There you go. Your screen's up.
We also we have a new content submission form here where anyone can semi-privately, not really privately at all, because
it's on Google.
It's on Google.
It's on Google
But
Forms.
if you want to send us something that you would like my opinion on or Kaysen's opinion on or would like to hear us discuss or talk through, it could be ethics, it could be just a random question, it could be a news story, it could be a video you see online that needs to be set straight.
Needs to be debunked, needs to be talked about the ethics of, all that stuff.
A link will be in the description so you can check out our submission form. It's really simple. You just give me a title, you paste your link, maybe a quick description, and you can even upload an image or a small video file here for us to check out. So if you want us to get more content out there, you can actually direct the content that you think needs to be discussed from an anarcho-capitalistic voluntarist perspective.
Because there's not really a good news source for ANCAP news. Like, most of the stuff is filtered through, like, the mainstream media filter of oppression or, well...
Or it's really, like, long form. It's
super
like,
long,
you know, like an hour and a half long show, which you have to make, it's like you have to make a miniature marriage commitment to really get into the meat of. So the goal here is 5 to 15 minute videos on a single topic. So if you want to support us, please share this video and check us out on Patreon.